Okay, hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about sustainable and successful community in the future. Uh, when we recognize a successful, sustainable community, when we come up with shiny new buildings and neon lights, uh, and for economies, there must be high GDP in the community. But I don't think these things are the only factors for successful community. In my opinion, a successful and sustainable community should for should surrounded by its residents, uh, and it will be res resilient and inclusive for all people live in the community. So what do you guys think?
Yes, I agree with you that resilient and inclusive community is of vital importance. And as for me, I think the livability is the most important factors to have a successful and sustainable community. Like, I think the livability is means the comfortable and the convenient life is for people in a city. And I think livability includes two aspects, namely the physical infrastructure and public services. A good example of infrastructure is the rapid cycling path project in Berlin. It is in the given material, and this project turns unused space under a train line into a 9-kilometer covered cycling route. It gives people a safe and weather protected way to travel, reduces car use, improves health. And it shows that infrastructure can make a city both sustainable and more pleasant to live in. So and livability is closely related to the people's well-being. So I think it is the most important factor. What about you?
Well, I think living ability is actually a very important factor to make a sustainable and successful community. But from my point of view, maybe the environmental resilience is the most important factor because, well, it directly safeguards public health. For example, like the heat mitigation, like the carbon his island effect makes cities significantly hotter, and resilient strategies like planting trees and creating green spaces directly cool neighborhoods and reducing heat-related illness and deaths and during the heat waves. And it provides the clean air and water and the food security. So I think the environmental resilience is the most important factor. What about you?
I I agree with both of you, but what I want to point out is that the key is to balance people's need with the long-term sustainability, which means the environmental responsibility. And I've got an interesting case to share with you is that it happens in Doha, Qatar, and the government there have installed outdoor air conditioner in stadiums and markets, sidewalks, and a lot of due to the extreme heat. And this action has actually made the public usable of a lot of space despite the 40 to 50 degree in summers. But anyway, it was extremely costly and energy consuming and even worsened the global warming. Do you agree with their actions?
Uh,
I don't agree. I think it's harm the environment and it is not a long term it don't have a long-term good effect.
Yes, I agree with you, and that is the point. But you should not forget that it also increases the livability in extreme climates. So my opinion is that it actually shows a real commitment to the public interest. The government was really willing to invest heavily so people could use outdoor areas. But I also believe that more investment and studies should be done in the future to reduce the pollution and to cut down the cost. But focusing on what people urgently need is the key to build a successful urban community. So anyway, I still think that there are positive impact in the people who's living in Qatar, Doha.
As Andy says, environment problem could affect our community in long term, and we should not ignore environmental problems. And I just want to say that yes, environment is this environment is crucial for community because people people who want a high quality life should have a very good environment, like the quality of the air, like the green or the green area outdoor. But I want to say that before we pay attention to environment, we should first pay attention to the life of the residents in our community to firstly solve their problems such as the infrastructure and maybe health problem, and to make our community livable, and then we pay our actual we can to solve this problem in environment aspect. And for me, I think, okay, so what's your opinion?
Well, I agree with you, but I think the most basic important question is that we have to solve the food security problem because it is a very serious problem, like in Shenzhen and many big cities. Because like community gardens and urban agriculture sometimes cannot provide like lots of healthy food and fresh food to supply the big cities. So I think the most important is that how to solve the food security problem to keep people health. What do you think?
Keep people health. Okay, for your do you mean that the urban area could not provide healthy food like the fresh vegetables and fruits for residents in the community? Does it mean, do you mean that?
Maybe because we all know that in Shenzhen lots of canteens, lots of restaurants, they could not provide lots of like fresh food and healthy food.
Yeah. Maybe this is another question about the accumulate. We all know that in Hong Kong there always lack of space for residents, and in Hong Kong people just maybe they just plant some fruits, vegetables on their roof. We have farm on the we have urban farm on the roof on the top of our building to solve this, to provide some maybe fruits, vegetables for our daily life, because yes, it's really there's this in Hong Kong we
maybe
have
we both want to point out that the public health from the environment is a very important factor, right?
Yes, but I think this is another points about accumulation, about the lack of land, something like this. So if we have more land for agriculture, for to plant something, yes. So for me, I think if a sustainable and successful community should be digital, because how do I explain that? Let me think. Okay, okay, if a community, their relationship that has a high quality equipable access to digital tools, and they can use them. They have the skills and can use them. They can use them effectively. So it means that the infrastructures in the community is very yes, the infrastructure is enough, and because you know that to provide most of people in the community a digital device for them, this is and the infrastructure. This need a large amount of funds. It means that most of people can use the in some place, people could not afford for the digital devices, and their hometown cannot provide them a digital system for them to connect easily. So I think digital equipment can show a small gap between the rich and the poor in the community. Yes.
So up to now, we've mentioned several factors, and first of all is the livability, and I mentioned the public interest, and there's another point about the environmental resilience and also the public health and also the digital equity. So how can we summarize them, or do we have any method to prioritize them, like, or rank them? What's your opinion?
I think we should reach a consensus first. Yeah. So which one do you think is the most important factor among these four factors?
I don't
Yeah.
I think as mentioned by the Nikita, she said the environment is very important, but I think a good environment is involved in the livability. So
for
do you
Well,
get my point?
the environment might not be that involved in the livability. Do you remember the example I've give you in Doha? They've polluted the environment, but they gain more livability. Do you think so?
yes,
So in my
I want to mention
yeah,
that Hong Kong, there's lots of country parts, and most of the land was covered by trees, by the green things. But there's still lots of social issues in Hong Kong, such as wealthy gap, such as wealthy gap and so on. So I think environment is one of the factors to show the community is successful and sustainable, but it's not it's not a crucial one.
I agree with you to some degree, but I think that environment might not be the most important one to create a most livable society right now, but
I know.
it is a key factor to maintain a sustainable urban community. When we talk about sustainable, then the environment is very crucial then. So the problem we face right now is that it's very hard to rank them because in different cases and different environment, different places, the rank and the priority in these four factors could be very different. So
I don't think
the balance needs to be made.
Yes, balance. Yes, as you say, balance is crucial, and I don't think we need to choose one to be the most important factor, because this is not a multiple choice. just can choose one to solve. So for successful community, we should pay attention to all these factors to keep sustainable and yes.
Yes, we should
But
think generally.
Yes.
And in the end, I also want to point out that there's another key thing to build such a community is that the people in the community should all think creatively and be prepared to change and improve. That's important.
Yes. In conclusions, we all mentioned these things such as
But I think
health.
we have to have a round.
Oh, just okay.
I think digital equity is not that important because we discussed the urban community in the future, but the digital equity, I think maybe to some extent it have already achieved now.
I think maybe
We are talking a future thing.
future thing, but you know that in the world, most of the most of the countries, most of the communities cannot provide you a very suitable infrastructure to let you use the digital system. So I think it's a factor to infect the community. Yes. So in conclusion, we mentioned health. We mentioned livable. We mentioned the environment. So our factors all surround to the residents, to the people who live in the community. In conclusion, the residence is the most important part in the community, I think, in my opinion. Yes.
Okay, I agree with you. Thank you.
I agree with you too. And be noticed that considering in my case, even though they polluted the environment right now, it also fits their goal in the residents' health, happiness for this moment. But after they got enough infrastructure were built and after they got the air conditioner, they could think about the thing about how to protect the environment afterwards because that's their interest and that's their goal. So in general, your point is right.
Okay, so does anyone want to add something about this?
No.
So let's end our discussion now.